Everybody, it's the Man Master here. I'm doing one more video today, and this one is about the recent appearance by Jon Stewart on The Late Show with Stephen Colbert, one of those establishment shows. And this one was really interesting because there's been a lot of talk recently about the lab leak hypothesis. I'm just going to be straight up about it in this video. And one of the things about this is that, for a year we were called, anybody that talked about this was called crazy, conspiracy, Trump, tard. I mean, even on the show, the appearance, it's like, are you sure you're not Ron Johnson's press publicist? Or some joke that fucking, what's his face, Stephen Colbert or whatever, James Corbett, no. Said about Jon Stewart's assertion, with humor, of course, that the lab leak occurred. And now we're hearing about it, and now we're kind of in this moment where it's like, well, what are we gonna, it's just kind of like the August PDB in 2001 got exposed, with the 9/11 Commission. So it's like, okay, where do we go here from now? How far do we go into this? And it's kind of sad it's taken this long, but it took 2 or 3 years for people to wake up to what Bush was doing. So I would say this is a little bit better, a year and a half or more plus. Because obviously it was November or even October, maybe earlier, depending what you believe as far as when this started. Serological tests, inconclusive about that as far as how far back it goes. At least the fall, we know that at this point. So it's like, all right, so I think we've kind of come full circle with this whole thing when Jon fucking Stewart. Now, Jon Stewart's always been you can call him a gatekeeper, you can call him a establishment or whatever, but he's always been a little bit better than some of the guys that have replaced his position, like Stephen Colbert or some of these Jimmy Kimmels of the world. He's always been better than that. He's always had a little bit more balls, intelligence, whatever you want to call it. Just walking. I mean, I hate most of these guys on the late night TV. They're total establishment hacks. But Jon Stewart's a little bit better. He always has been. He was kind of saying stuff about. I mean, he questioned Obama, which was pretty verboten at the time back in the day. He questioned a lot of stuff. He's pretty progressive and liberal, like in a legitimate, non-establishment way to some extent. Obviously, he's establishment, he's rich, everything, call him a gatekeeper, call him compromised. But in this was shocking, late night TV, millions, tens of millions, hundreds of millions of people watching this show, where he basically makes, with good humor, makes a case for the Wuhan lab leak hypothesis being real. And it was just, it was kind of amazing to see this on mainstream television like this. Now, what is going to happen about this? I don't know. They're probably going to be, I predicted there will be some kind of investigation, half-assed, It'll come out as vague reaction, a vague conclusion. Maybe, maybe not. Forever. Lost the annals of time. China's probably already, done whatever they needed to do to cover this up, if it's real. I'm just saying. Please don't censor me, YouTube, I'm just saying, maybe, hypothetically, possibly, theoretically, But it is sad. It's another sad moment for, my ego was so invested in this whole, talking about this crisis. I honestly admit, from the beginning, I had my suspicions about something fishy was up with it, and I was right. I was always right about it. There is something up. This is a case in point. And people did call me crazy or act like I was crazy. Some friends did. They thought I was problematic. Probably. Who knows what they said in private to other friends. Oh, Matt's so crazy. He's like a conspiracy theorist talking about this stuff. I don't know what. It's just a normal thing. I love the government. I love these experts. Trump is evil. Yeah. I had to wake up, so that's why I was hitting myself in that. So, yeah, it's pretty remarkable that people were, just a year ago, if you'd mentioned this shit, you were a fucking nut job. You were a terrible, selfish, murdering psychopath who wanted people to die and grandma to die and all this stuff because you question the official narrative or you question where it comes from, you question the stats, you question anything. You're just evil, right? You're just evil. But now, Jon Stewart, that Jon Stewart, not John Schaefer. Speaking of that, check this out. I've had this for years. Iced Earth, dystopia. Sure, there's some lyrics about lab-made things with this conspiracy thing, culture. He's been into that for a while. So yeah, it's just it's a pile of shit. I'm so sick of the whatever this was all about is accomplished now. Maybe not in Britain. I don't know. There was something, something was going on. Something was going on. I always knew it was. I was right, all along. And it's not to be, egotistical, but I was always correct about this. Like, something's off. Something's not right about this. They're not telling us something. And pretty legitimately, the left is now waking up to it. The mainstream establishment is waking up to it. After months of shaming people, months of, acting like people are crazy, like Rand Paul, just like saying, oh, that crazy, those crazy Republicans, talking about all this stuff. It's crazy, yeah. No. They were proven right. They're coming now. This is gonna help the Republicans, obviously, because just like with 9/11 and the Democrats, it's like they can start using this in political campaigns. They could start talking about this stuff legitimately with that. That's really, the way it goes. But I know it's it pisses me off. I thought I'd do a quick video about it. I just watched see, this is the irony. So I was at role playing last night with my friends, and there's always a TV running in the background. It's the main guy is always watching TV or whatever. No comment, but that's just not my lifestyle. I just that's just not my thing. So there was this episode with Stephen Colbert and Jon Stewart, and they had a flash on the screen, about the virus stuff or whatever. I was like, oh no, here we go again, some other fucking older celebrity just talking some shit about people not wearing masks over the last year, or what, not taking that. But no, it was about this. And because I saw a clip on YouTube, I was like, oh my god. And like I said, I've never minded Jon Stewart as much as some of these other buffoons, So it's vindication, but bittersweet vindication. And I must say that I'm not looking forward to having these conversations with people in the future, but it's like, lo and behold, it's kind of like I was right all along. There was something wrong. Look at my first video, March 23rd, 2020, about this stuff. Something's not right. Something doesn't seem right about this. And maybe it's not even related to this. Maybe it is. Maybe this is the only thing that's wrong. Maybe this is the only thing, the only way that the wool's being put over our eyes. I don't know. Time will tell, of course. But we'll see. But it doesn't make me happy that I was right about this, honestly. It makes me very pissed and very sad. Even if there's a sense of vindication, a sense of finally being able to move on because I was right about something, and people, I could just laugh at them now. Oh, you were saying I was crazy. Something, I smelled something funny. I told someone that early on. Something doesn't seem right. We'll find out about it, But no, Matt's crazy. Matt's a conspiracy theorist. I'm a tinfoil hat. And that's your problem if you think that. That's not mine. It's not my problem what people think of me. Of course, I am concerned with it, else I wouldn't be talking about it. But that's, something I was always right about. Read like 5 books about this whole thing. Read countless articles. Watched countless videos. Everything from the crazy, reptile people, believers, to, the anti-lockdowners, to the crazies themselves, or not the crazies, the people, the medical people themselves that were supporting all the measures and stuff. I mean, John Campbell always supported the lockdowns and stuff, and masks and stuff. He always did. I always watched him. He was legitimate. He knew what he was talking about. He's not a bad guy. Not at all. But, and who knows, maybe people believe he's like hired by them or something, but he's not. He was talking about vitamin D and a lot of different other stuff, and this whole thing, he was talking about a lot of different things, just a lot of different drugs and stuff, which I'm not going to mention on YouTube, of course. But he was actually looking at the studies and talking about this and that, and it was a pretty mainstream opinion for the most part, other than a couple of different things. But anyways, I'm not done with talking about this thing, because if more stuff comes out, it'll be good fodder for videos or commentary, or maybe even comedy. Like the Jon Stewart bit was actually pretty good, honestly, as comedy. Because like if you watch it, him talking about like the coincidences didn't add up, and like then he was challenged, and then he kind of he pushed back on Colbert, because what Colbert said, I forgot what it was exactly, but it's like that makes sense, like with Jon Stewart saying. It's like, well, about the bats in Austin. Like, there's bats all over Austin. We're not gonna, but there's not a lab. I'll just let you watch it. But anyways, that's about all.